people, and welcome back to my channel. Just before I start this video, I want to share something with you. It took me nearly a year to jump onto YouTube and start my own channel. I was petrified of putting myself out there. I wanted to save up till I could afford a top quality camera. I was making excuses and I was just putting it off and basically procrastinating. And the minute I came onto that realization, I picked up my camera and I started filming. And look, a couple of videos in, I'm actually filming from location. I'm out in beautiful Berlin. The point of this story is that whatever you want to do in life, go and do it. Do not wait for the perfect moment, because there just never is. And also it's about progress, not perfection. And we only live once, so go out there and do what it is that you want to do. Do not be afraid of the journey, and just remember, every journey leads somewhere. And this takes me back to a really famous saying that you probably know, and it goes, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. And it's so true. We get one chance at life. Do not be afraid and stand in the way of your own progress. I truly hope that this motivates you to go out and do whatever it is that you want to do. Thank you anyway for listening to that, and let's crack on with today's video. If you watched part 1 of this video, you would know very much what this book is all about. And if you haven't, please go check it out, because this video would then make more sense to you. So today I'm going to go through the advice that you would give to your younger self, due to our height. And I'm going to start off with me. The advice, looking back on all the stuff that I've gone through to get here today, the advice that I would give my younger self is, do not waste a second of your time worrying about what anybody thinks of you. Number 1, worry is a waste of energy. It does nothing but drain you. And secondly, I have every single right to be here. All 6'1" of me. It's how I'm made, it's how I am, and that's how I'm gonna be. So why should I give anyone else the power to control how I feel about myself or how I look? It's who I am, and I'm gonna own it. That's the advice that I would give to myself. I wish I'd known this back then when I had the awkward years of being tall, not fitting in with anybody. Let's see what else the ladies have to say. So first one here we have, Karen. Karen's 6'2", if I remember, and she says, you can't change your height, so stand up and wear your heel. Embrace it, you're gorgeous. So right, Karen. If you had dark hair, you can change it to blonde. If you had small chest, you can have cosmetic surgery to make it bigger. But our height is one thing you can't change. And one thing in life, if you can't change something, it's best that you embrace it and work with it. So yeah, work with your height. You can't change it, so you might as well embrace it and enjoy it while you're at it. And next we have Ziggy, who's 6 foot, and she says, always stand tall. Slouching looks awful and doesn't actually make you smaller. It just shows everyone that you're not comfortable with your height. And that is so true. I realized actually a story of mine. Once I was talking to one of my uncle he was a lot smaller than me, and I must have been crouching down so that, to make myself look smaller. And he actually stopped the conversation and asked me if I was okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? And he said, oh, because you look like you're in pain. And I walked away thinking, my gosh, I've been always bending down trying to talk to people. I've been looking like I'm in pain talking to people. And again, since that day, I thought, no, I'm not going to do it anymore, and I just stand. So it's true, when you're slouching and bending down, it doesn't actually make you look smaller, it just makes you look awkward. So, just don't do it. This person didn't write their name, but they're 6 foot, and they've got the advice that they would give to their younger self is seeking for friends who have the same height. And of course, by all means, seek for friends that you feel more comfortable with and so on. But in reality, it's going to be really difficult for me to find, friends that's 6'1". I think the whole point is, if you embrace who you are, comfortable with who you are, you can be friends with anybody. And also, my school life, my best friend actually at school, she was 5'2", and she still is 5'2". So yes, that works if you can find, tall girls around. But if not, just own it by yourself. Next one here we have from Claudia, and she says the advice that she would give to her younger self is, everything you experience will make you a strong and compassionate person, and being a lover of dictionary will make you smart, and time spent alone drawing will make you creative, which means everything will be alright. And she's right, everything will be alright. I used to absolutely hate people asking me how tall I was, but because I got the question so often, I thought, you know what, I better deal with it instead of just being angry at people for asking. So now when people say to me, oh my God, you're tall, how tall are you? Like I said before, I always make a point of telling them, yes, I am tall, I'm 6'1". And the reason being that is because I've gone through so many people asking me about my height that I had to learn to deal with it. And it just makes you a nicer person and a stronger person and more confident about your height. So, yes, everything you do go through will make you a better and stronger person. Thanks, Claudia. And then next we have Barbara. Barbara is 185 centimeters, and she says the advice that she would give to her younger self, turning 30 would be great for you. You're going to waste your 20s being miserable, but it all pay off. And it's true, turning 30 is amazing. Gosh, I remember my 30s, but in my 20s was also good because I already, with the help of my mother, I already, embraced my height. So don't let your, if you are in your 20s, do not let it be miserable. Start now. Even if you're in the 30s, 40s and still haven't come to terms with your height or quite embraced it, do not be miserable about it. Like I said before, you can't change it. So enjoy it and work with it. Thank you so much, Barbara. We've got Kristen here, who's 6'5½", and the advice that she would give to her younger self, she says, you are not as tall as you think you are. It's not everything that defines you. And it's so true. One thing with us human, how we think of ourselves is not really how we are out there. We tend to not think much of ourselves, which is so wrong because there's so much more to us. And if we focused on, the strength, the good parts that we like about ourselves and put that out there, we'll be a totally, completely different person. I say this because, due to my height, I've heard people say, oh my God, she's so tall, she's too tall. But then I think to myself, too tall for what? I drive like you would drive. I'd sit in a restaurant and eat like you would eat. I'd go swimming just like you. So too tall for really what? So the whole point is, if I believed them, yes, I would think in my head, oh my God, I'm too tall. I might never leave my house. But no, I didn't. I just thought, yes, I'm tall, but it's just where I am. So I'm going to use that. I'm not going to let people define me by my height. There's, and rightfully, like Kristen said, there's a lot more to you than your height. So don't let it stop you. Thank you, Kristen. Next, we have Shay, who's 6 foot, and she says her advice to her younger self is walk tall and love it, and people will love it too. Absolutely right. Again, for me, I can remember the point when I finally embraced my height and started looking up and not being afraid of catching someone's attention or catching someone's eye. I actually realized that people admired my height, and that gave me confidence to hold my head up high and just walk, tall, which I do. And I guarantee you, the minute you do that, there's more people out there that's gonna admire you than, think, oh, that's weird. And yes, you are always gonna get people that say, oh my gosh, she's too tall, but that's just human beings. We're always, anything that's different, we're gonna look at it twice, and that's how you should see it. Not every day you walk past a 6'1" girl. So if people want to look at me and stare, that's okay. I really don't mind, because that might be the first time they've seen a 6'1" girl, and that's fine. Thank you so much, Shay. Next we have Marcia, who says the advice that she would give to her younger self is be proud, walk tall, enjoy being unique, and don't let tall insecurities take over your life. So true. Again, when I was going through my awkward stages, all the negative stuff that I heard about my height were what used to play in my mind. For example, I had boys to say to me, oh, you're really good looking, but you're too tall for me, or oh, you're pretty, but I can't go out with a girl taller than me. And those were the things, I used to walk around and be like, oh my God, I'm too tall for a boyfriend, I'm too tall for dating. But no, it's not true. That's their problem. And just so you know, I'm happily married to a guy who's 5'11", so all those insecurities were just a waste of time. Do not let what people think, tall is, set you back or change how you are about yourself. Stand tall, like Marcia said. So thank you, Marcia. Then next we have Melissa, who's 6 foot. And the advice that she would give to her younger self is simply enjoy what you're born with and embrace it. Again, that's how we're born, so you can't change it. Enjoy it and embrace it. That's all there is to it. Thanks, Melissa. Next, we have Amy, who's 6'1", and she says the advice that she would give to her younger self is smile at anyone who stares. Remember that anyone that has a problem with your height is their problem. And it's so true. Like I've said before, people may say, oh, it's really unusual for a girl to be 6'1", or it's not. Oh, I don't know, just all the tall, silly comments that you get. That's their problem. It's not who you are. You are not too tall for anything. You're just a human being. And may I say that just because we're 6 foot and over, it doesn't mean that we've got 8 heads or 3 legs. We're still human beings, and it's just our height. Which height is an advantage. It's a great thing to have. So yes, enjoy your height, ladies. Thank you, Amy. Next one, we have Holland, who's 6'1". And the advice that she would give to her younger self is to date guys that are 5'9" to 5'11". They're the ones that's most comfortable with their height. By all means, it's all about finding, a guy that's comfortable with your height and, that you're comfortable with. To me, I've never really been one to look at height, hair color, skin. I just go for who I make a connection with. So yeah, if you find someone that's, loving your height just the way you are, then yeah, why not? Thanks, Am. Next we have Sophie, who's 6'5", and the advice that she would give to her younger self is learn to love yourself. You can't change your height, but you are more than just being tall. There's nothing wrong with being tall. Absolutely. Again, just because we're tall don't make us any less human or anything else. It's just our height. And I love that Sophie says learn to love yourself, because if you love yourself, others will, and that's just it. Thank you, Sophie. And then we've got Linda, who's 6'2", and her advice to her younger self is similar to what I said. She says, stop caring about what people think. Your tall people would stare anyway. May as well give them a reason to stare. And that's actually one of the tools I use to embrace my height, because I got people just staring. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make myself look the best that I can. So I always made sure that my makeup was on point, my hair, my clothes, and I was comfortable. So if people were staring, it was worth their while. That's one of the things I use to kind of help me to walk a little bit taller. Thank you, Linda. Next we have Naomi, who's 5'11" and a half. And the advice that she would give to her younger self is be different, be happy with who you are, shoulders back and stand tall. Simply and well put. It's true, be different. There's nothing wrong with being different. Everyone these days is doing all they can to be different and stand out. We naturally stand out with our height. So yeah, be happy with who you are. Thank you, Naomi. And we've got Jean, who's 174 centimeters. Sorry, I'm so thirsty. And Jean says, being tall is a daily exercise of accepting yourself and embracing standing out. You are who you are, and there's nothing better than that. If you can wear something that makes you happy and stand out even more, do it. And that is so true. Accepting ourselves is the best lesson you can learn in life, because if you don't accept yourself, how do you expect anyone else to? So again, accept who you are, accept your height and work with it. It's what you have, use it. Thank you so much, Jean. Next we have Sally, who says, standing out is a great thing and is worth celebrating. I agree. I think celebrating means when you're out there and people comment and mention your height, celebrate it. Say, yes, I am. I'm so tall and it's who I am. And again, standing out is a great thing. So own your height. Thank you so much, Sally. Excuse me. Next we have Lauren, who says the advice that she would give to her younger self is, when people look, they're just jealous. Take pride in your height, and there are so many people who want what you have. And it's so true. I cannot sit here and tell you the amount of times I've got, oh my God, I wish I had your long legs. Oh my God, I wish I had your height. These are, I take these as compliment, because, for other people to wish that they had that, that's lovely. So I do enjoy what I have, and I do love what I have. Thank you so much, Lauren. And I hope you do too. And lastly, we have Sassy, and her advice is to her younger self, you will never be able to change this or hide from it, so embrace it and just hold your head up high. I like that one, Sassy, because it's so true. You can't change your height, so what else are you going to do? Hold your head up high and walk tall. That's what I would say. I just want to say a huge thank you to all the ladies that contributed to the content of this video. I couldn't have done it without you, and I appreciate that you opened up to share your experience and your stories with me. So thank you so much for that. I'm so overwhelmed by the support that I've received so far for my channel, and I was really petrified putting myself out there, but now knowing that I'm reaching out to people that relate to my experience, connect to my stories, the feeling is just undescribable. So thank you for that. And I think in conclusion for this video, it's worth saying that each and every one of us mentioned in regards to our height, that is one thing that we can't change. And I think in life, if you can't change something, it's best that you work with it. So ladies, embrace your height, work with it. Thank you so much, and please continue to show love and support, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Goodbye from Berlin. Bye.